I can mathematically prove that you can land a $25,000 client today without using ads. This is the super simple system used to make millions in high ticket sales and the exact targets that you need to hit. So let's say that this is the price that you want to set, $25,000, and presumably you want to get your customers some kind of ROI. And let's say that it's an ROI of 2x. So you want to get them $50,000 in returns. What you need to understand, and this is critical because this causes so many businesses, especially marketing businesses, to basically put a cap on what they can charge. If we had a choice between two businesses, two potential clients, one charged $100 for their products and one charges $10,000 for their products, in order to get a 2x ROI, just to double their money and get $50,000 in returns, if they're spending 25 grand, they're going to want to see 50, 100, 200,000 back. Just to get $50,000, if they have a $100 product, you need to help them sell 500 units. But if they have a $10,000 product, they only need to make 5 sales, or you only need to help them make 5 sales. I had an old mentor explain this to me, like the amount of work it takes in this kind of middle box here to get from 25,000 to 50,000 or 100,000. I'm going to go into more details in a second about how you can get these kinds of results and how you get this kind of ROI and where these types of clients are. But the amount of work that you need to put in, it's going to be hours of actual work. You're going to have lots of calls. There's going to be lots of back and forth. You've got to do the proposal and the sales process. The effort it takes to land a $3,000 client and a $25,000 client is actually the same. The irony is a $25,000 client ends up being easy to work with, in my opinion. So you need to do all of this work, and then at the end of it, you're either given the choice of trying to make 500 sales for them or 5 sales. The reason that my agency was successful is that we knew we could get them an ROI on their investment with us, and a big chunk of it, we would usually get 2 of those 5 sales roughly within the first 14 days. I'm going to show you how we do that. And so now you're probably thinking, but how can I actually get these kinds of results for clients? But what if there was a surefire way to prove mathematically that you can get those kinds of results for clients? This is a framework that I use to prove to clients that I can get them killer results. But what it also does is it uncovers this dirty little secret within the marketing guru community that the coaches and the gurus do not want you to know, because it basically puts their entire business out. This is going to look sort of more complex than it actually is. I call it a risk calculator. You can call it a success calculator. All right, so these are the sales targets that you're basically going to try and hit. So $20,000, if they've given you 25 grand, is not a great ROI, but we're going to assume they've got a $10,000 product, and what we're going to be aiming for is kind of between 50 and 100,000. We can go bigger if you want, but the question I often get is, yeah, but how do I know whether I can get this customer results? What we're then looking for is 20,000 would be 2 sales, assuming it's a $10,000 product. 50,000 would be 5, 100,000 would be 10. What we tend to look for is between a 10 to 12% conversion rate from this number. I will have a conversation with the client and I'll say to them, how many past customers have you got? How many times have you sold this product? Because that's a really clear indicator to me as a marketer of, is this product something that the market is after and I can help them get more of those sales? I might even just go back to their previous customers, hint, hint. Let's say that we need to hit 5 sales. We're aiming for a 2x ROI. Okay, we can go, of course, much higher than that, but a really good indicator would be how many previous clients they've got. If they have only sold this product 6 times, that to me is basically almost doubling their sales, and that's just way too big an ask. Now, there are some caveats to this, and we'll go into this later, like the maths of like list size and audience size, but the rule of thumb I used to use with my team is we're going to aim for a 10 to 12% conversion rate, meaning if we need to make them 10 sales, then they need to have sold this product anywhere between 90 to 100 times, or have 90 to 100 customers. It doesn't always have to be like the exact product, but I want to know, if I reach out to these customers, would 1 in 10 buy from me Yeah, they probably would. Now, you might go, yeah, but that almost seems like cheating. Yes, that's your job. You are basically supposed to cheat in order to get your clients like killer results. So for 50,000, if we want to double their ROI, what we would typically look for is anywhere between 40 to 50 past customers in order to hit that number. Now, if they've got 1,000 past customers, great. I'll talk a little bit more about this later, about why that's so important. But what it means is that I'm then able to go into their business and I am more likely to find them the sales that they require. Because remember, they are the craftsperson, they're the doer. My wife, for example, she is a running sports coach therapist. What it basically means is she works with runners who are injured. She helps them get over their injury, and then she helps them beat their personal best. And I used to ask her, like, how can you kind of guarantee that? And she let me in on the most explosive secret that she could have. She basically says they have to have run multiple half marathons already in order for me to say I can help you beat your PB. And even then, it'll only be by 2 or 3 minutes. She doesn't work with people who have just started running a 5K race because the gap is too big. What I'm looking for is businesses who are already running multiple half marathons and they just want to shave 2 or 3 minutes off. And this is the big dirty secret. The success of your marketing campaigns have got nothing to do with the campaigns that you implement and everything to do with the types of clients that you choose to work with. If we were to draw a line here, you would find success. Let's say that this business here has got like 20 past sales. Can we get them to? Absolutely. Now, ideally, we want to aim, like I said, for this 50 to 100,000. If they've got 100 to 50 customers, we will be able to get them an ROI. So our likelihood of success is much higher. But a customer who's basically asking us to 2x their sales, that's going to be a hard ask. Now, that's not always the case because you might be thinking, yeah, but what if my clients have got like a big list? And I'll talk about that in a second. But by now you're probably thinking, okay, I understand that I want to go after these types of clients. How do I sell to this type of client? How do I sell a high ticket service to a client like this, especially if I haven't sold something like this at this price before and maybe even without a portfolio? And if that is what you're asking, then you want to use this really super easy pitch method using facts to prove that you can get them results. So it starts here at the top. All I want you to do, and I'm going to show you the exact like pieces that you need in a second, is ask, how many leads do you have? How many sales do you have? How many email subscribers do you have? How many, YouTube subscribers do you have? How many views are you getting on your average post? I just want to get as many data points as possible about their audience. How many? But I tend to ask it in this circle. So I'll pick one and I might say sales. And then I'll go, how many sales do you have? And they say, we've got about 50 previous sales for this product or 100 previous clients. I go, fantastic. How often do you pitch or engage that group of people? So how many leads do you have? How often do you pitch that group of people? How big is your email list? 10,000 people. How often do you pitch or engage that email list? Now, whatever they come back with, this is why I like this method so much, because they'll either say, actually, I don't know. Like, I don't know how many sales we have. I don't know how big our email list. I don't know how big our audience is. And we can skip to like one of these two questions. Great. But if they say, our email list is 10,000 people or our YouTube audience is 100,000 people. Great. How often are you pitching or engaging that YouTube audience? How often are you pitching or engaging those past customers? And again, if they go, actually, I don't know how often we're doing that, go, fantastic, and we can skip over to this one. But they might say, we email them about once a week, and we can simply say, okay, what if we increase that to 2 times a week? They go, yeah, that would probably work. And you then say, well, does that sound like it would increase sales or affect sales? And they go, yes. And you're going to mark that down. You're going to write down their answer. So we're going to basically double their emails. We do the same. Okay, so how many leads do you have coming in per day or per month? And they'll say, I don't know, we get about 40 a month. You go, fantastic. How often are you pitching or engaging with those leads? And they go, not entirely sure. If they do say that, what we can do is say, does that sound like it would be a good number to find out and to figure out? They go, yeah. Go, great. Question, number of engagements for leads. Now, the assets that we want to go through are these ones here. These are our targets. This is what I used to ask my guys to look for in order for us to help a client, especially when we're pitching a $25,000 product. How big is their list? for me, I needed them to have an engaged organic email list of about 1,000 people. They could have 100,000 people on their email list that is like bought from a data platform, and I still wouldn't touch them. They have to be organic, even if they're small. Their sales target within that list would be about 5 to 10. This is how I'm able to guarantee results to my customers, because I'm basically auditing every single aspect of where is the lowest hanging fruit that I can go after to get them the quickest results. There's also groups, like they might have some kind of community. On average, again, I'd be looking for about 1,000 people within those groups. So again, past customers, if they said we have about 8 to 10 previous customers or 8 to 10 customers in total, I knew that I could convert 1 to 2 of them into a sale. So if I needed to make $50,000 for them, I'd be looking for about 50 previous customers. And then sales is slightly different. Sales is of that product. How many actual sales of that product do I have? And again, for every 8 to 10, I can probably get about 1 to 2 sales out. Notice that the ratios are different, that for 1,000 people, I can get 10, but with just 10 customers or 10 sales, I can get about 1 to 2. So they only need 100 or so in order for me to way beat the list. I would rather be given a list of customers than a list of leads any day, and I will always get results for my customers. Any kind of audience, I'd expect an audience of around 10,000 people to get about 5 to 10 sales. That's the kind of like metrics that I was working from. And I would simply go through. If they didn't know these numbers, I would ask them, well, would you like us to spend some time looking into these numbers and figuring out where your lowest hanging fruit is? Yes, fantastic. It's $3,500. It's a $2,000 a month engagement after that if you want us to employ that. I'm kind of jumping ahead there, but you can hopefully see where I'm going. These are the numbers that I would be looking for. And so after we go through, like, how many sales do you have? Well, I've got about, 100 previous customers. Fantastic. How often do you pitch or engage them? We don't really at all. Well, what if we just sent them an email campaign once a month to try and convert them? Yeah, that sounds really, really good. Well, does that sound like it would increase sales? Yeah, it does. Fantastic. So we'll increase sales to our customers. I would then read those ideas back to the customer and then say, so you think that we should double the number of emails we send to our current customers, we should engage our leads with a campaign once a week, and we should be offering our group or community a webinar once a month to pitch and sell. And they go, yeah, that sounds fantastic. Okay, so we think that would increase sales. Oh my God, absolutely. Would you like some help with that? Yeah, I would. Fantastic. It's $3,500 upfront payment and then $2,000 a month afterwards. And then we can take it from there. That's how we pitch and sell. The key to understanding this, the two sort of things that you have to understand is, one, dig into data. And two, you don't pitch to high-ticket customers. High-ticket customers pitch themselves. This was a really important lesson that my mentor Mark taught me. He said, if you want to sell something for $100,000 or $1 million, you get the customer to tell you why they want to spend $1 million. And all of a sudden, if you just ask those questions and dig into the data, using these numbers as the framework, you will find that you have a pitch that works for that customer. And then you've just explained to them how you're going to get them those kinds of results. Remember, they are the craftsperson. They are the boat builder. They are the podcaster or whatever. They're not interested in doing this. They want you to do that for them. But of course, this is all well and good, but how do you actually get those leads in the first place? Well, I've collected data from over 3,000 high-ticket sales, and these are the targets that you need to aim for. Now, I personally find that a bit confusing, so I prefer to use a funnel, unsurprisingly. Here's what I'm going to suggest. I want you to post something on your Facebook wall saying, do you want X? Now, you now understand that the goal is giving someone the idea of the result and then finding the exact person who is actually able to get that. I want you to pretend that you're my wife and you are saying, I can help you beat your personal best in a half marathon, but only a very small select number of people are going to be able to do it. So what we tended to do is I had an audience of around-ish 10,000 people, roughly. It varies, obviously, but some posts would do better, some would do worse. And I simply say, do you want X? Now, if you want to differentiate yourself from the market, do what I did at the very start of the video, which is without ads or without going to the gym. Throw in a without What's the usual headache? If you're a dentist, do you want more patients without having to build a new office? Do you want more patients without having to advertise? One recently was, does your restaurant want to increase bookings without having to use Yelp? So that was the ask. And we would roughly get around 100 replies per post. We did this on YouTube. We did this on Facebook. I do it via email. You can do it via ads. You can certainly do it via content and blog posts. The idea is you do this thing called the ask, okay? This is where you get your traffic from. What we found is roughly 100 people would say, yes, that's me. And then what we do is we pre-qualify. Now, you now know some of the numbers that you need to try and hit. So you would just offer a form saying, hey, I can absolutely help with this. First of all, what are your past sales like? What's your list size? Are you currently emailing or are you currently advertising? And we would find roughly-ish 10 people would qualify out of 100 people on a post. Roughly, it was roughly 10%. Sometimes it'd be way higher, sometimes it'd be way lower, but on aggregate, it's about 10%. This is really important. Anyone who fills out that form is then offered a 15-minute call. It's basically an audit to figure out what is their data. And all we did is ask questions. Remember, we don't pitch them. We just ask them questions. You are going to ask those same questions on a sales call, but what you're trying to figure out is this person already running half marathons? Is this person already capable of beating their PB? You basically want to find out how many sales have you got, how many customers have you got, and if they are qualified, we would offer them another call. Roughly speaking, it would actually be 10 to 3 to 1, because this call would actually be 2 parts. We would have a really short qualification call and then a longer sales call. What we found roughly is that 4 people would book for the call and roughly 3 people would actually make it through to the sales call. We would always be qualifying people out. And then on average on that call, it was about 1 in 3 would qualify for an actual sale and for a close. And that's again where we would dig into way more detail. So we would understand way more about their business before we would end up going after just trying to pitch them and sell them anything. But what do you actually do with a $25,000 client, and what do you deliver to them in order to get those kind of results? Well, it's simple really, and I have explained it all here in this video, explaining how to guarantee $100,000 results to your clients. Even if you've never hit those kinds of numbers before, I give you the full emails, the full campaigns, absolutely everything. So go ahead and watch this video up here.